Today, on Be Something Wonderful, thought transmission is real, but you are not transmitting anything. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and these are the studios of Be Something Wonderful, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning and welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful. One of you reached out and said there are others teaching the idea of thought transmission and that you can manifest anything you want and anyone you want by sending and transmitting thought. In other words, by influencing them and others with your thought. This is based on the teachings of Neville Goddard. And this person said, Tom, I tried it, but nothing has changed. I didn't manifest anything by trying to transmit or send thought. Well, here's the thing. Yes, thought transmission is real, but you're not transmitting or sending anything. The idea of thought transmission we're going to talk about today. And so nothing goes anywhere. Everything's here and now. You're only ever assuming and thinking into the one divine mind, of which you are the center. And you create your entire life experience as the center of that one divine mind. So it's never about influencing or changing others or anything that creates this idea that is something outside of you, that your mind is sending something to another mind. There's only one mind. There are not, the idea of finite minds is only an idea of your own thoughts and assumptions about yourself and your reality. You create the experience of a finite mind or a finite experience. So let's start here. Abe Hicks, the law of attraction teacher, and others actually debunked the whole idea of thought transmission or sending thoughts to change or influence another, or that others can change or influence you with their thoughts. She debunked it with this: it's none of my business what you think of me. Wow! Unless you accept it as your business, unless you accept it as the truth of who you are in your reality. And if you do, then that's your reality. You see, you create your own reality. They're not creating it, what others think of you. They create their own reality with their thoughts and assumptions of you. But it has nothing to do with your reality. But if you accept those as your reality, then that's your reality. I want to be clear here. We're going to really unpack this idea of thought transmission. No one and nothing can create in your reality. No one and nothing can create, manifest, change, or influence your reality. And no one and nothing can create, manifest, change, or influence against your free will as the one and only creator of your entire life experience. Right? This person was pointing out videos that said, I manifested my specific person against their free will. That's not what's going on. It's not about others' free will. It's about yours. You're the center of your reality. You can't, remember, free will wouldn't be free if you could influence and change another's free will. What you do is you create a version of them that aligns with what you choose, with your will. So it's none of that. You don't do anything against another's free will, and they can't go against your free will. You are the center. You freely decide what you focus on, what you think about, what you assume in your reality, what you create, what you manifest. They can create the experience and idea that they do, though, but that's their reality, not yours. So they can create the idea that, oh yeah, no one has free will in my reality. I influence them all. They can create that idea, but they're just creating versions of others that appear to be aligned with their will because it's their reality. So thoughts, energy, intentions, none of it goes anywhere. Everyone, everything is here and now. This is what I want to talk about today. So you're not transmitting thought, you're not sending thought, and you're not influencing others with your thought, and they're not influencing you with their thoughts. You are all just thinking into the one divine mind of all that is, creating your unique perspective or experience of yourself and your reality. So what appears to be sending thoughts or transmitting and influencing someone is you just creating a version of them that aligns with whatever your thoughts and assumptions are. Do you hear this? This is powerful. All of that, all of this idea of transmitting thought, sending thought, influencing others with their thought, or them influencing you against your free will, or you against theirs. Right? That's all, those ideas are all made up from a limited physical perspective. All that's about limitation. All that's about separation. That can't be the truth of reality because there's only one God. There's only one reality. There's only one awareness. There's only one divine mind. There's no separation anywhere. So it's not about influence or changing anything. All that is all that is. Infinity is infinity. You don't change anything in infinity. You don't change anything in all that is. Instead, you choose how you're going to see yourself and others. And that creates the versions of the people, events, and circumstances that you experience as your physical experience. So all of that idea implies there is more than one divine mind, more than one I am, more than one God, one source. I am God and there is no other. The ancients were clear about this. There's only the law of one. That's what the ancients meant with this idea of, and if a house is divided against itself, that house cannot stand. You can't divide up the one. You can't divide up God or that awareness. Right? The idea that you can influence others or they can influence you or you can send and transmit thought is a house divided against itself. It cannot stand. There's only one divine mind. You're just creating your unique experience of that. What appears to be a transmission of thought or sending thought, thinking of someone and them calling you or them expressing whatever you were thinking about them. That's you creating a version of them as consciousness, as the center of all it is. That reflects your assumptions and beliefs about who you are and what you believe about them and your reality. There are infinite versions of them, of you, of all that is. So you can create the experience of transmitting and sending and influencing others with your thought. However, what you are actually doing is thinking within and as the individualized center, the one divine mind. As you do, you manifest and create a version of others in reality that corresponds with your thoughts and assumptions of yourself and them in your reality. Wow. I want to repeat this because we're going to really go deep here today. What you are actually doing, you're not actually transmitting thoughts, you're not actually sending thoughts anywhere. Nothing goes anywhere. Everything's here and now. There's only one divine mind. You're not influencing others. They're not influencing you. What's going on? You're thinking within and as the individualized center of the one divine mind. As you do, you manifest and create a version of others and reality that corresponds with your thoughts and assumptions of yourself, them, and your reality. Wow. This whole question came up because of a third party and this person wanting to manifest their specific person, right? Trying to influence, trying to send thoughts and all of that. But remember, there's only one mind, I am. One consciousness, one intelligence, one awareness, one energy. So you're not sending energy or you're not feeling another's energy. You're only ever feeling yourself as source energy. There's only one energy. One awareness of being, the one. There's only one awareness of being, God's Son. There's only one being aware of itself as one. And there are infinite potential possibilities, perspectives, or thoughts, or perspectives, what we might call thoughts of that one. That's what thoughts are. They're just a perspective of the one thought of God, that one thought of love, that one awareness. And you, the third party, and the specific person are all part of that one divine mind. That's what makes all things possible. So when you're thinking and assuming and imagining something, you're thinking, assuming, and imagining as the center, because this is about your reality, of that one divine mind. As you do, you create versions of the third party or the specific person, whatever it is, that aligns with your assumptions and your beliefs and your definitions of who you are in your reality. But it's about your reality, not theirs. You're creating your version of events. They create theirs. You create your version of that physical reality. So look at all the infinite possibilities. Yeah, there's you in love with, there's your specific person. Remember, this is all part of that one divine mind. You're not influencing that specific person's finite mind because there is no finite mind. There's only your mind as the center of the one divine mind. So you're creating a version of them where their choice aligns with your choice, right? They're choosing you because you choose them. So you can create this idea, right? This is a possibility of you two together. In the third party, everybody's happy. This is what this person wanted. He goes, I just want one where everybody's happy. You can. But infinite versions exist. It's not about influencing one specific person or mind or one specific third party. All of this is all part of the one divine mind. It's your reality. Or you could create one where you're together and the third party's unhappy. Or you're alone and the third party's with your specific person. Or you're just alone and happy. Or alone and sad. All possibilities exist. You could create one where you're with the third party and the specific person's unhappy. All of these exist, but from your perspective. There is not one version of the specific person or the third party or you. All of you are infinite. But from your perspective, this is your reality. This is your world. It's about you. You create your version of this. Infinite versions of you, and therefore infinite versions of the people, events, and circumstances, realities, exist within you as that one mind. Do you see? You don't have to send or manipulate or influence or any of that. It's not about transmitting thought to that appears to be some individual outside of you that appears to have a finite mind, that you're sending a thought from your finite mind to theirs. There's one mind. You're the center of it. And you create your entire life experience around what you're focused on. What you give time, space, and attention to is your reality, is your entire life experience. All of these possibilities exist, right? But you have your specific physical experience. There's not one physical experience. There are infinite ideas of realities and images and existences. There's one existence, but there's infinite experiences within that one existence, within that one divine mind, within that one consciousness, that one intelligence, that one source. There's your awareness as the one, but you're not separate from anyone else or anything. It's all you, and you're creating all those versions. It's not that they're not real. If you're real, the reflection's real if you're standing in front of a mirror. It's just that it's not what it seems. It's all consciousness. It's all one. It's all awareness. So you're creating your perspective of that. It's all that is seeing itself from infinite perspectives or viewpoints or vantage points. So you don't manifest someone against their free will. This person pointed out there was a video. I manifested my specific person against their free will. No, you don't do any of that. You create a reality. You can create an experience where it appears to be that's what you did. But free will is free. It's the free will of consciousness. It's the will of God. It's always free. That's why they call it free will. That comes from that idea that I manifested someone against their free will comes from the idea of limitation or separation. That there's some finite mind and other person outside of me that I can manifest and influence them with my thoughts and feelings and make them do things. Right? And I know this comes from Neville Goddard's idea that the idea that you have free will is an illusion, the illusion of free will, right? But remember, what he's really getting at is what your assumptions, your beliefs about who you are create your entire life experience. And you freely choose that. So you always have free will. The actions you take, the circumstances that surround you are according to your assumptions and beliefs and definitions. When he says you have no free will, it's because many times we allow those choices to be automatic based on what we believe is real and true of reality. And so we don't question it anymore. So it feels subconscious. It feels automatic. It feels like we don't have free will. But you do in every moment, or it wouldn't be free. It doesn't even make sense. to say someone doesn't have free will. Because free will is free. And you don't cause another to act or be in a certain way. All of that implies limitation, separation, or more than one divine mind, and that makes no sense. You're infinite in all ways. Otherwise, we're just talking about separation and separate realities and finite minds and all of that. And I know it comes from Neville's discussion on thought transmission, which I'm going to present here. But as always, there's an elevated thinking behind those things that he said. And we're going to go to that today. The idea that the subject has no power to resist your controlled subjective ideas of him or her. Right? This is the idea that the person you're thinking about has no power to resist it. They must act. They have no free will. They must act in according to what you're thinking about them. And he says, unless the state affirmed by you to be true of him, that person that you're trying to influence, is a state he is incapable of wishing as true of another. In that case, it returns to you, the sender, and will realize itself in you. All of that, none of that is reality, right? There's a bigger message he's trying to communicate here. You can create the experience that things bounce back to you, but that's not, that would imply limitation. That would imply that would imply there's some other power other than all that is, other than all that you are. It makes no sense because it's all about you, what you accept as true of you and your reality. What you assume and accept as true of others will be the version of others in reality that you manifest as your reality. That's what he's really trying to say here. It's really about you. You create the idea that you create the idea that, oh, if they don't accept it, it's going to bounce back to me. You create that idea. You're the one that believes they won't accept it. It's all your acceptance. It's not theirs. There's no one outside of you. It's all you. It's all consciousness. It's you, all that is. So it's you being incapable of accepting the idea that they would wish that. Right? If you don't believe and assume that someone would wish that on another, then you create that idea, then you create that experience on yourself because it's your reality. That's all that means. Nothing is sent. Nothing returns. There's no karma here or anything like that. The only subject and power is you. You're the subject and you're the power. That's what Neville really meant by this, right? I'm sure if he was with us in this moment, physically, his thinking would have evolved, right? Because I want to show you how it did. So here's what Neville Goddard said that clears it up. It clears and explains what thought transmission and everybody is you pushed out really means. And here's what he says. There's only one mind. Very clear here. If there's only one mind, then where are you sending the thought to? What are you transmitting? Who are you influencing? Where are things bouncing back from? Do you see this? There's only one mind, and all men, all people, everybody, are that one mind, individualized. Wow. Individualized. Wow. Right here, there's the visual of that. One mind. And everyone is an individualized aspect or center of that one mind. And he says this, what I think of you, I'm actually thinking into that one mind. He clears it up. Right? You're not sending the thought. You're not transmitting it. You're thinking into that one mind. And that's exactly why and how all things are possible. Because there is one mind. If there were finite minds and you had to send and transmit thoughts, it would appear that not all things are possible, that you got to transmit it, you got to influence somebody. They got to accept it or reject it or believe it's capable believe someone else, if they don't believe someone else is capable of that or that, then none of it's real or none of it's reality. Well, that would go against the idea that all things are possible. All things are possible for that very reason that there's only one mind. Nothing goes anywhere. It's you standing here and now as everything, everywhere, all at once. Creating your versions of the third party, the specific persons, the people, events, and circumstances that from what you assume to be true or the truth of your reality in yourself, your self-concept, or your image of who you believe you are in this moment and in every moment. That's why, and that's how to really manifest anything and anyone you want. And this whole idea of solipsism, right? Oh, Tom, that's solipsism. No, solipsism says my mind, my finite mind, is the only mind. And nothing exists outside of my finite mind. We're not saying that. We're saying there's one mind. And you're the center of it. That includes all possible perspectives or vantage points. It includes everything, everywhere, all at once. It includes all minds because there's only one mind. You can't divide up God. You can't divide a house against itself. It won't stand. Or the idea that no one has free will in my reality. We heard this from one of you. Right? No one has free will in my reality. I have evidence of that. That what I thought they did. No, you created a version of them. A version of your reality. Where that's your truth or what's true for you. You're not influencing someone outside of you. You're not influencing some finite mind or some finite personality. You're creating your version of them as consciousness. That's what's going on. Because even that comes from limitation and separation and ego. Right? The idea that I'm this personality and no one has free will in my reality. I'm this ego and yeah, it's about me, but that's different. You're saying it's about me from a limitation, from a competition, from some perspective that you influence others. When we say it's about you, we mean it's about you as all that is. It's about you as everything, everywhere, all at once. It's about you being love itself. And that no one and nothing is separate from you. That's what we're talking about. Rather, it's only one mind, one reality, one free will, the will of God. There's only one free will, and you are all of it, as all that is. And so is it everything and everyone all at once. Do you see? You're not separate from anything or anyone. It's not, and it never was, about someone or something existing apart or separate from you, ever. Wow, such a big video today. So yes, thought transmission is real, and you can manifest anyone or anything you want, but not by sending thought, not by transmitting feelings or energy, when you say, I'm going to send energy to them, or influencing another's free will. On the contrary, it's by assuming and thinking into the one divine mind as the one divine mind, as the one energy, as the one emotion or feeling of source, as the one thought of love as all that is, as the one free will of God that creates and manifests and then you create and manifest infinite versions of you, others, and realities to manifest anything and anyone you want. That's how you do it. If you had to transmit thought or send thought, then it wouldn't be unlimited. Then some things would seem impossible. Because what if they don't accept it? Right? And all that comes up. Now we're talking about limitations and differences and other minds and other realities and other powers. There's only one power. There's only one reality. There's only one source. There's only one energy. There's only one I am, and you're it. Thought transmission is real, but you're not transmitting anything. I am your host, Tom Kearin. And these are the studios of Be Something Wonderful, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, be sure to join us on the Tom Kearin channel. We have another big video there. And we're going to be announcing our next live event in June. That date will be coming out, I think today we'll announce it. And it will be our 30th live stream overall on the Be Something Wonderful membership channel, our 6th live stream this year. Creators with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude. This is Tom Kearin here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, we'll see you soon.